Abracadabra, bitches! We are back in the Magic Tower, and we have, for the first time ever, our very first Star Wars character, Lando. And I always knew there was something strange about him and that cape, to be fair. Like, it turns out it's actually a magic carpet that he's wearing in the movie. I think it's Lando Calrissian, is it? But yeah, I'm never going to be able to not put these two together. But honestly, like, it's cool to see that, you know, Star Wars are making their way into our humble game. Hopefully Disney will not, you know, take too much away from Take-Two Games or Small Giant or anybody else in the near future. But yeah, we have two new heroes. So it's not just Lando. We have another one in the Tower of Magic. We have two heroes in the Covenant Summon as well. So it's a busy freaking day. In fact, I'm getting to this one day late, but it does look kind of weird the way he's caressing that carpet. But yeah, he's, you know, they've been around for ages, since like 70 or whatever, they made the first film. Anyways, let's get into the portal before I just say something I shouldn't. Let's see what they're all about. Oh, it's a costume for the lovely Nadezdha. I'm not the greatest fan of her, but we will touch on it. But I'm more interested to have a close look at this dude today. So, Lando is our latest hero from the Magic family. Just for a quick recap, the Magic Carpet family, they have flight momentum, something like that, at the end of each turn. And when taking damage, they lose a bit of their flight momentum. And when they cast their special skill, they gain a bit of flight momentum. Slower heroes gain increased amounts of flight momentum. So what is that? Basically, with the flight momentum, if they have any amount, they receive up to 35% increased mana generation and up to 25% extra chance to dodge. The effects diminish the less flight momentum the character has. Now, I was lucky enough to pull one of these heroes from here. She's not quite limit broken yet because I haven't been able to get the materials. I can show you here, I've only got 2 of 5 that I actually need to limit break her, and I wish I could because she's awesome. And this flight momentum with her, at least because she's at fast speed, means that the majority of time she's actually casting it very fast. So I'm assuming that where you see a slow speed hero like this, with Lando, even though he is slow, I can see by his special, the flight momentum is going to give him up to an increase of 35% mana. So I'm assuming you're going to be able to cast quicker with this guy. So you'll probably be able to cast at average speed. And I believe, although it's, yeah, there it is. So it says slower heroes gain an increased amount of flight momentum when they cast their special. So you should be, in theory, if you cast him at average speed, able to get back round to the second cast at average speed as well, provided you've got decent troops. And obviously, if you have a bard hero on your team, you're going to be laughing. So that is awesome right off the bat. They also get a passive where enemy Mega Minions have negative 75% HP. This was going to be completely negates everything that Mega Minions do, but we sort of pushed back against it, and now they've gone and given it to the bloody Astral Dwarves. So that's what you get. But for now, they give negative 75% HP to Mega Minions, which is still cool. It makes them a very good counter, and it will make you think twice or even 3 times before bringing heroes with Mega Minions against these guys to attack them, because you only get 25% HP. Right, so let's see what is going on in the world of stats with Lando. He's running a team power of 1217, which is okay. I mean, I say it's okay. It's in line with the other heroes that they've just recently released. And again, I'm tentatively waiting for this freaking June balance update or July balance update when they, you know, inevitably do the same thing that they did in June, where they just boost everybody by like 50 points and they throw all of their good work in terms of power creep right out the window. So I hope that that does not happen this time around. But again, we all know that there is no guarantees. Anyways, team power is absolutely crazy. Attack is a little bit lower than the defense, so nearly 1200 attack, just over 1200 defense, and 2300 on the health. Limit breaks and emblems will give you the special armor. So at the start of the battle, he's going to get 40% increased defense against special skills for 6 turns, which is super strong. and pretty damn useful for keeping your team alive. Probably not as good as the defense up or the bulwark, but still, it's there. I'll take it. Right. Special skill for Mr. Lando Calrissian is the two-step swing. So he's running at slow speed, and all ailments affecting attack, defense, and mana generation on all allies are transformed into matching undispellable buffs. Okay, so any attack, defense, or mana generation ailments are going to be transformed. It says into matching buffs, but I remember on the last one when you click this question mark, it doesn't quite say that. So here it says transformed effects, attack ailments are transformed into plus 40% attack buff. So you tell me if that matches, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. If you had say you had plus 70% attack, and then you cast this guy thinking that any ailment or negative 70% attack, and you cast this guy thinking that he's going to flip that on its head, because that's what it says. All ailments affecting attack, defense, and mana on all allies are transformed into matching undispellable buffs. But then he transforms it into plus 40% attack buff. And it's not a matching buff, because let's say it was lasting for, 6 turns. Now it's going to last for 4 turns, because it says it right here. So reword the cards. They're wrong. That's all I'm saying. They're freaking wrong. So yeah, again, the same with the defense ailments. They're going to be transformed into 40% defense for 4 turns. Mana generation, again, it's transformed into 40% mana. Of course, this can work to your benefit if, say, for example, you had negative 24% mana and you flipped it around, and now you've suddenly got plus 40% mana, and that negative mana was lasting for 2 more turns, and now it's suddenly lasting for 4 turns. So it can work in your favor, and it probably will more often than not. But all I'm saying, the wording's wrong, and that's freaking annoying. Anyways, so Lando then cleanses status ailments from all allies. Nice. Deals 400% damage to all enemies. Okay, so priority cleanse. That's pretty cool. Although he probably won't need to do that, because he's already flipped around all the ailments. So unless there's like dot damage or anything else going on, then yeah. So yeah, he cleanses as well. And then he deals 400% damage to all enemies. All allies deal 300 to 700 damage to a random enemy after 3 turns, based on the damage allies have taken while the effect was active. And this effect is undispellable. Okay, it's not the biggest deal in the world, to be honest. Like, it could just be the difference between winning and losing if you don't have any kind of heal or anything like that ready to go after he hits you for 400% damage, because that's gonna hurt. He's got a massive attack stat, like that is gonna hurt a lot. But the 300 to 700 damage after 3 turns, that's not really that much. It's probably like 150% hit. And it depends on how much damage the enemies take while they get the effect. And it's going to be all over the place. It's really not going to be that big of an irritation. So I think we have to judge him based on his passives and also based on the first part of the special. That last part of the special, it's not going to be super devastating. So I'm not really going to judge him on that. All you need to do is make sure that there's a heal. What I would say is I would prefer it, where I think it was stronger, if it was like a damage over time effect, where he gave some kind of like sand or poison or burn damage, which had a certain turn count on it, rather than waiting and then based on the damage that his allies are taking, dealing up to 700 damage. It's going to take people by surprise, so he will end up killing some folks, but like, it would have been stronger if it was damage over time. That's all I'm going to say. I do like the first bit of the special, the flip around of the ailments into positive buffs. And I do like the priority cleanse coming before the damage, because there are situations in which that can be super useful, like greed, for example, just getting rid of it and then dealing out the damage to all enemies. Like, it's good. There's no sort of healing attached. So he's not a healer. He's a damage dealer first and foremost. But he's also going to be a protector of sorts, in that he's flipping over the ailments. So yeah, I would say I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll say that he's going to be an A+ hero, but I don't think he's quite knocking on the door of where some of these other cats are at. Like, I think Naeem does Yeah, so he's got the counterattack, but he hits the target nearby. This is actually pretty frustrating. And then you see he gets the sand touch. So each time the owner of the status effect counterattacks, the enemy receives 680 sand damage over 4 turns. So now that is kind of more impactful because it gets you like you're getting that damage coming at you every single time that you hit them, and it's going on immediately. Where with him, obviously, aside from that, he's at slow speed. There's a bit of a delay between when they get the effect and when the damage actually happens. So I don't think it's going to be quite as effective. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Lando. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. I do think he's a decent hero. So massive congrats to you guys if you are lucky enough to pull this cat out of the portal. And then we have a stupid looking police woman, librarian, French, whatever. I don't know what she's supposed to be. Honestly, weird as fuck. So yeah, I've never liked Nadezdha. I'm just going to go ahead and say it up front. Milena was, one of my most prized possessions for a long time. And I do think that her costume is absolutely incredible because it's just, more of the same and better. And then the added passives as well. So let's see what they've done with Nadezdha. So she is, of course, a fire hero. She is of the monk class. She is of the magic family. So this is the regular magic family where they get a bonus, which is a chance to cast plus 5% mana generation stack on a random ally when they cast their special. Gets up to a maximum stack of 10. It's a pretty cool family bonus. Costume bonuses mean that her stats are pretty damn relevant. So you can see 12, 15 there. She's getting 57 attack, defense, and health bonus, and only a measly freaking stupid 1% mana bonus, which is still kind of okay because they run on the charge mechanic, which people can argue is maybe slightly faster in some circumstances, but not really, depending on what the special does. Okay, passives time. Health recovery on special. So when they cast their special, they have a 60% chance to recover 20% health to all allies. If the special's fully charged, chance is 100%. It's pretty cool. 60% chance to recover 20% health. I'll take it. It was 50% chance to recover 15% health. So yeah, it's gone up by 5% and by 10%. Sorry, 10% chance and 5% on the health recovery. So that's pretty decent. She's kind of a pseudo healer. The enemy mega minions have negative 75% HP. I've been over this already, but it's a very, very strong passive. So the weaker mega minions now definitely makes her that much more usable if you are lucky enough to grab, or unlucky enough, I don't know what yet, but to be able to grab the costume for Nadezdha. So let's have a look. Let's jump straight into the special. So she runs on a charge mechanic. She gets 2 different charges. The first charge runs at about 5 and a bit tiles, like 6 tiles. It's a very fast speed charge, so within 2 tile matches. And the second charge is basically at slow speed, so it's going to be like 4 tile matches to get there. So for charge 1, the target nearby enemies receive 350 burn damage over 2 turns. I feel like they've ramped that up quite a bit. Yeah, so yeah, it was 248 burn damage over 2 turns. If the caster is then defeated during the next 2 turns, they're resurrected in the beginning of their next turn with 40% health, and all status effects and stacks are removed when the caster is defeated. Okay, 40% health is quite a bit. So yeah, this was 32% health. I feel like that's been buffed as well. But that's pretty okay. Giving herself the revive right off the bat, but she's not really doing anything that impactful. 350 burn damage to the target nearby over 2 turns at very fast speed. She's probably going to be the first person to fire. And then she's very unlikely to get killed within the next 2 turns after she casts. So unless you're very, very careful with the timing, and remember, you're only bringing a single hero back, it's really tricky to play around with. So I really wouldn't bank everything on that. And I know why they've done it is because of charge 2. So charge 2, she then becomes the reviver that she always wanted to be in charge 1. So it was each defeated ally had a 50% chance to get revived with 40% HP, and then all allies regenerate 714 HP over 3 turns. And then all allies reduce or receive damage by negative 50% for 3 turns. So charge 2, she becomes a bit of a beast. Like, she's a pretty good reviver. 50% chance is good. Reviving with 40% HP is decent. And then the regeneration that comes after that is also decent, because it obviously just gives you a little bit extra health boost. But then the reduction of received damage by 50% is probably the strongest part of this special, because, you know, at charge 2, she's making it so that you have a decent chance for that revived ally to come back and do their thing. All I wish was like that there was some other kind of heal going on at charge 1. I think that would probably make her a much, much better hero. As it is, I just feel like I would only really want to focus on getting her to charge 2. And that's a little bit more difficult to get around to. So anyways, like, we do have average speed revivers that are, you know, plaguing the meta at the moment. We've even got very fast speed revivers like Sable. You've got Astrid, who's average. You've got Relius, who's average. Like, they're all really, really strong revivers. I just think she's kind of a little bit not quite able to compete at that level, shall we say. Okay, so let's have a look at the costume charge. So each defeated ally has a 55% chance, so over half, and that's Mother North-esque, to be revived with 44% HP, and all allies regenerate 795 HP over 3 turns and reduce or receive damage by 60% for 3 turns. Okay, yeah, she's good if you get her to charge 2. She's quite good for that weaker Mega Minions, but I really would not ever use this first mana charge unless you're absolutely desperate. Yeah, then that's when I would use it. So yeah, overall, I think she can be used. I think she'll be pretty useful as a reviver, but not as useful as some of the average or fast speed revivers that we have, or very fast in Sable's case. So yeah, and then you'd want to put her in Rush. But the problem again is, like, you put in Rush, you probably want to put somebody like Mother North or Costume for Heimdall, because they at least charge within 2-tile matches. For her, you still have to get those 2-tile matches to charge the first charge, and then another 2 to charge the second charge. So Rush doesn't actually affect these characters, which again, you know, makes her a bit tricky to use. In the format where she could be absolutely amazing if she was just a normal slow speed hero. Anyways, that is all I've got to say about Nadezdha. Please do let me know in the comments if you're lucky enough to pull her. Let me know your thoughts on both her and, of course, Mr. Lando Calrissian. Let me know what you guys think about the brand new heroes. Drop us a like on the video. If it's your first time coming to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe and share it with your mother. And I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.